time. Let's see Jim Jackson. Look at James Harden tonight as the Nets took care of the San Antonio Spurs, 128-116. Harden tonight, just sensational.
Listen, man, Channing knows that some dudes that just play. They can miss time and come back, and it seems like they haven't missed a step. And you know, here's the thing about the role that James plays allows him to come back in and kind of get his rhythm in multiple ways, because it's not just about scoring. You can see the difference when James is on the court in regards to system-made field goals. It's a reason why he is probably the most important piece when they're all healthy, because his distribution of the basketball to his teammates, you know, especially, you know.
Beautiful sight to see. I mean, we were just talking about this, and all the things that we had seen from James Harden through the course of the season, you knew that the team was missing. But once he was back on the floor, it just was, again, the orchestration. You talked about it earlier, the chess match of him being able to manipulate and read a defense, whatever they're giving. And you saw how he made such a concerted effort to get teammates involved. Some of that came from the fact that San Antonio was sending two at him. They were sending two at Kevin Durant, and a lot of those ball screens they were blitzing. But his teammates had a field day, and they were having fun. The smiles, we saw him communicating how he's able to really show guys different plays, break things down throughout the course of the game that we were seeing him do from the sidelines. So overall, excellent team effort in play and attention to detail from the start of this game as well, even since he was coming off the bench.
Well, to your point, just to illuminate this for a moment, there are a lot of stars in the league who draw double teams. Not all of them can make passes through double or triple teams the way James Harden can.
And we talk about feeding guys, feeding your teammates. He is spoon feeding them, putting them right at the front of the cup. And it's a beautiful sight to see in just how he's able to those pinpoint passes and slicing through a defense. And when you have a Spurs team who came in, and we talked about this, that absolutely whomped on Milwaukee, was feeling good, had won 2 of their last 3 games, and the Nets on the second of a back-to-back. They just got back from an 11-day road trip. I mean, just overall, you felt the energy and the connectivity of this group.
No doubt about it. From one guy in James Harden, known for making pinpoint passes, to his head coach, who used to make a lot of those passes. Steve Nash met with the media moments ago.
Hey, Steve, what went into the decision to bring James off the bench? And then just what did you make of his performance tonight?
Well, we just wanted to give him an opportunity to play down the stretch if we were in a tight game. I thought he was great. You know, it's not easy to take I think he's been out 5 weeks, and to play in an actual NBA game sometimes can be difficult, especially in a year like this where, you know, in a regular year you can kind of simulate some practices or some stay-ready groups that are a little more, I don't know, robust, so to speak. You know, we got so many guys that have been injured, and so he hasn't had a lot of opportunities in that respect. So I thought he was fantastic. Happy to see him back, and most importantly, no recurrence of the injury.
Thank you.
Alex Schiffer, The Athletic.
Hey, Steve, I got 2 for you. Just the scoring's been very balanced these past 2 nights. 8 guys in double figures. Is there anything in particular you attribute that to?
I mean, one of the things I think people are paying a lot of attention to Kevin. So, you know, whether they're doubling him or loading up, and he's getting rid of the ball and making his teammates better. So maybe that contributes to it. But we've just tried to move the ball, play with pace, make the defense make multiple decisions every possession. And I think it's been good to us. Our, you know, assists to turnovers tonight, 33-11. Last game, something like 35-7. So, you know, really good kind of pace and togetherness, and we've got to keep building on that.
And then just is Jeff okay? Couldn't tell from our view, what happened to him down in the corner over there.
Yeah, I think it was an awkward fall. A lot of contact, but I think he's okay. And he I think re-entered the game, you know, not too long after, and looked good.
Brian Lewis with the New York Post.
Sorry, my apologies.
That's okay.
I know in the past, when Kevin has come back, you've said, well, you're not surprised when he drops right into the game and looks like his normal self. James, I guess, in some ways it's fortunate that he hasn't had as much experience coming back from long layoffs and injuries. Are you surprised at how crisp and how sharp he looked?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to go so strong as to say surprise, but I was pleasantly surprised. You know, you expect some rust, and while I'm not saying he's firing on all cylinders, I thought it was pretty impressive. So, pleasantly surprised. You could see where there'd be more rust, but you know, he's pretty sharp, played well, obviously impacted the game greatly. So, really impressed.
Bruce Beck, NBC New York.
Bruce, you're on mute.
Thank you, Steve.
No problem.
How important are these last few games for James just in terms of getting reps, and how valuable will that week be this year before the playoffs commence?
Yeah, I think it's great that he's going to get at least another game in, you know, for his confidence and his reps and that rhythm that we keep talking about. It's really important as a basketball player, you know, especially you're going into the highest kind of intensity of the season where people are going to be scheming and physical, and the game raises a little bit. So, you know, it's important for him to get some touches out there and to play. You know, that week off where we can prepare for the playoffs is really important, in particular for our team. You know, we're playing against teams that are running it back 3-4 years now in the playoffs, going deep into the playoffs, not just, you know, this season for us, it's been 3 teams more or less. And so our you know, I don't think that our kind of 4 top perimeter guys have even played with Blake or Nick together. So, you know, we got a lot of things that we have to overcome, and mainly it's time. And so that week is important for us to kind of spend some time going over everything we need to for the playoffs and preparing to play.
Greg Logan, Newsday.
Steve, I apologize if you've been asked this before, but you kind of alluded to the fact that James will get at least one more game out of that back-to-back. And how important will that be for him, you know, just to get some time with the big 3? And then also, did he seem a little tentative to you in the first half in terms of driving, and then kind of found his rhythm in the second half?
You know, I think it'd be great if we can get everyone on the court together. I'm not sure that'll happen. We'll see what happens. It seems like something different kind of changes by the day. But if we do have that luxury, that'd be great. You know, it won't be a lot. It won't be enough, but it'll be something. Yeah, I don't know if he was tentative or if he's just feeling his way into the game. It's been a long layoff. So I don't know that he overcame any fears as much as I think he just kind of felt a rhythm and started to kind of come back to himself and feel more confident in what he was doing. And, you know, it's just different. You know, you get out there with the team 5-on-5 under the lights against another NBA team. It takes a minute, I think. So, especially if he enters the game in the second quarter. So, all considered, I thought he was great.
Christian Winfield with the New York Daily News.
Hey, Coach. I believe when Kevin first came back in his game after missing, 23 games with the hamstring, you brought him back in at the 8:06 mark in the second quarter. And then tonight, I believe you brought James back in at the 7:37 mark of the second quarter. I'm just wondering if there's anything specific about that pocket of time. Sorry, I had to get you something
Just
about
missed.
that pocket of time that you like to bring guys back from an injuries.
No, I think it's more like counting the minutes we're trying to target for the rest of the game, and when, you know, we get them in so that they can meet that target throughout the rest of the night. So there's no perfect science because you never know if the game is you know, you're up, you're down, it's close, what's happening. So foul trouble, whatever. So it's not perfect, but, you know, similar situations, both coming off hamstring injuries, deciding that we'd like them for the second half, and how can we, you know, according to, you know, our program of limiting their minutes, when's the best time for them to get in the game.
Thanks, Coach, for your time.
Good night, everyone. Thank you.
Thanks, Steve.
Thanks, Steve.